The Niners and Cowboys rekindle their rivalry. In the biggest game of the season, which big name will make the big play? And which team will come away with bragging rights?
We get them this fourth time. It's going to be kind of hard for them to beat us after that.
After I live to play games like this. I love to play games like this.
This Cowboys receiver can boast about his numbers as he continues tallying TDs. This Niners quarterback leads the most potent offense in the league. Today in Kansas City, this former Niner has his new team within striking distance. But the Chargers quarterback is back and has San Diego still running atop the AFC West. This Lions back is running away with the rushing title. The Browns visit the Eagles, where Philly's main offender has nixed all the naysayers, while his offense continues to catch fire. But Cleveland is trying to return to glory. We'll have all the nastiness next on NFL Game Day. Yes, I am. I'm Chris Berman. I think I am. Welcome to Week 11 of NFL Game Day, a week unlike any other. The game of the season. And of the 14 teams with winning records in the NFL, 12 of them are playing each other, all revved up with no place to go except watch football. Tom Jackson, Philly Tim, Chris Mortensen, Joe Theismann will join us shortly. We have a gang of thousands. We got plenty to talk about now. We're on a tad early this morning, so we can get the full hour of game day and then make way to the NASCAR season finale. The Hooters 500, they're stacked up in Atlanta. We'll have live coverage beginning at 12:45 Eastern Time. And on a day of great football, you can't top this one here on ESPN at 8 Eastern, 5 out west. Barry Sanders, NFL rushing leader, perhaps on a record single-season pace, leads the Detroit Lions at home against, you just can't top this team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann, who we'll hear from shortly. Mark Malone on the call after what promises to be a rockin' NFL primetime. As you may know, the Buccaneers are for sale. Tom, can you let me a quarter? I think we can make a deal there. This one was huge when the schedule came out in the spring, and it's huger today. The game of the season. 8-1 Dallas at 7-2 San Francisco. We delve into this one like jackals attacking fresh meat. The plot is simple. Dallas, the champs, the team of the 90s. They've supplanted the team of the 80s, the 49ers, by beating them 3 times in the last 2 seasons, including, of course, the last 2 NFC title games. Have the 49ers closed the gap, or is Dallas in the post-Jimmy Johnson era even a better football team? 1 month ago, San Francisco was in big-time trouble, but now Dallas, except for the Emmitt Smith shoulder injury last year, really for the first time, they've had health problems in their 2.5-year run. So, Tommy, this one of the reasons that I think onus really on San Francisco. They've got to come up big. Dallas may be limping a bit.
I don't think anybody can fool themselves about the importance of this game, especially for the San Francisco 49ers. The Dallas Cowboys coming off of a very physical Monday night game against the Giants. They're the travel team this weekend, working without the best offensive tackle in football, Eric Williams, and Novacek and Harper not at 100%. If they cannot beat the Cowboys in this situation, they can't beat them. It's a no-brainer. Which is why I'll pass it to you, Phil.
Right off the start, he's getting on me. But I'm sitting in this chair. It's Joe's chair, and I definitely disagree.
Naturally.
Because I've talked to 49er players and coaches, and they feel like in a couple weeks they're going to be playing their best football. The defense with all those free agents is coming together, and when Richard Dent comes back in a couple weeks, a great pass rusher always makes the defensive better, and the offensive line continues to get healthy. They'll be playing their best in a couple weeks, too.
But, Phil, if the 49ers do win today, hey, it's going to excite the rest of the NFC because Philadelphia and Minnesota have picked up the scent. There could be 4 teams today with an 8-2 record, and Minnesota with a very favorable schedule finished the year against the 49ers in Minnesota, which means they want home field advantage, Chris.
So it's strange bedfellows here. Minnesota, Philly, definitely rooting for San Francisco. Remember, Philly's beaten San Francisco, and Philly plays Dallas again. So there's lots of plots here. You know, for Barry Switzer, I think that, yes, this is his first huge game, but it's not that big for him. Bigger for the 49ers, huge for Steve Young. We'll hear from him later in game day. We'll hear from all the participants. But now you've heard from us here. Now, out to the Bay Area. And fresh from a Bay Area breakfast of sourdough muffins and scones, no doubt, and no doubt a cappuccino or maybe a latte, let's head out to our Leslie Visser in San Francisco. Leslie, you're making us jealous.
Chris, it is beautiful here, and people are still recovering from that rare Swami sighting. You'll have to come back more often. Well, a cautionary note for the Cowboys. In practice on Friday, Troy Aikman banged a thumb on his throwing hand on a teammate's helmet. It was so severe that he couldn't grip the ball. He's been treating it ever since. He hopes to be fine by game time. Well, as for the 49ers, they're hoping that a win today will bring back some of that mystique and glamour.
Hey, they've punched us in the mouth a couple of times, and we want to react to that. We don't want that to happen again.
Well, I don't want to put too much on this game, but for Eagles, it would mean a lot.
They seem to be approaching this by saying, hey, it's 1 of 16, and we seem to be approaching this by saying, hey, this is the 1 of 16, and that's not good for us.
What else isn't good for the 49ers? The presence of the league's most devastating runner. But in this game, Emmitt Smith is wary of how many times he'll carry.
I'm not going to carry it 35 times a game. People will say, well, he carried 35 times Monday night, maybe he's going to carry 35 times against the Niners. And no, I don't think that's going to happen. If it happens, good for us.
Before this game is over, much will be made of the game plan, which is often devised by the assistant coaches. Well, Barry Switzer, in a moment of glaring self-deprecation, managed to diminish not only himself, but the man who used to run the show.
Assistant coaches are the ones that deserve credit. I don't know how many head coaches out there ought to say that. They don't call. Jimmy Johnson never called an offensive play here. He didn't call defensive plays here.
Well, if the Cowboys make most of the plays today and beat San Francisco for a 4th straight time, could that mentally break the 49ers?
Hey, if we beat them, it'll be a good thing for us. If I don't think they playing it up as much as a lot of the other people are, but if we get them this 4th time, it's going to be kind of hard for them to beat us after that.
As for injuries, 49ers center Bart Oates, who's never missed a game in his career, will play despite hurting his knee in practice on Thursday. However, defensive end Richard Dent will not play. As for the Cowboys, they're on the road to Wellville. Both Jay Novacek and Alvin Harper will play. Well, Chris, that's it from Candlestick. If you hurry, you can maybe get here. The people here are ready to rumble.
Well, we got that Bristol to San Francisco nonstop revved up right outside the studio, Leslie. It's Lear. Maybe we'll get there. We'll be back to you later in the show. Well, last time we saw the Cowboys, it was Monday night, and everybody was kung fu fighting, and it cost them. Michael Irvin and the Giants' Jarvis Williams, after the last play of the halftime play in which Alvin Harper got hurt. Irvin got fined $12,000 by the league for using his helmet as a weapon right there. Then, of course, safety man James Washington gave new meaning to the phrase focus and click. Picked up a tripod. He's fined $10,000. Cowboy assistant Hubbard Alexander fined $5,000. Williams of the Giants, Jesse Campbell of the Giants, $8,000 each, total of $43,000 in fine doled out by the league. And later in the week, the commissioner fired up a stern memo to each of the 28 clubs saying that they, too, would be fined if their teams didn't toe the line on the field. Coming up later in the show, all you need to know about the boys and the Niners, including Michael Irvin's season of adjustment. Today, he will be facing Deon Sanders, the best cover man in the business. We'll zero in on that matchup. Emmitt Smith, the best back in the business, today bursting through the middle and slugging it out with former teammate Ken Norton Jr. The Cowboys' defense thriving despite his loss. Troy Aikman. News on Troy? No doubt, though, about his big game poise. Steve Young, playing the best he's ever played, but will it be good enough in the biggest game of the year? We'll be back.
We've invested billions to help businesses grow and have financed college educations. We help people improve their homes, start new lives, and provide financial security for millions of families. We also underwrite hopes and dreams. Transamerica, life insurance, consumer and commercial loans.
A bowling ball, a pineapple, a birthday cake, a Nokia cellular phone. One of these objects would make it easier for me to juggle my schedule.
He's a juggler. You're not. Pick up a Nokia cellular phone to help you juggle your schedule. Nokia, largest European cellular phone manufacturer, now in America.
Something with hometowns and everyone's class clown. It's always been true. This bus for you.
just for you. A taste you'll find in no other beer at any price. Beechwood Aged Budweiser.
It's always been true.
Pros wear Russell Athletic because it's made tough. It has to be.
Hey, kid! Hey, you got my lucky jersey.
Yeah?
I got kind of carried away. Can I have it back?
You gotta be kidding.
Come here, you little pipsqueak. Get off my back.
You want athletic wear that can survive anything? Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Who was that kid? I don't know. Just signed him up.
The Niners, of course, wary of Emmitt Smith. He's killed them in the last 3 Dallas wins. 5 touchdowns, 468 yards running and catching against him. He looked pretty good Monday night. Just in case you didn't know, in the 90s, Emmitt Smith, 64 touchdowns, Jerry Rice, 62. Andre Rison is the next closest with 54. So Emmitt and Jerry on center stage today. An interesting note. On the opening possessions this year, the Dallas Cowboys are ranked #1 in the NFL in points scored. The Niners' defense is ranked almost dead last in points allowed. So Dallas looking to get out first, as they've done often this year. We're not just in San Francisco today, though, in Motown. Barry Sanders motors on, his pace for a record. In Motown, Philly, Randall back again, proving his doubters wrong. In Kansas City, tough guy Stan Humphries back from another injury. Joe Montana. All he does is win. On the Chargers' heels of the Chiefs at the top of the AFC West. Of course, more on the Cowboys and Niners. Can they stop Emmitt? Next.
It's time to hear the truth from MCI friends and family customers.
I expected that my bill would go down, and it didn't go down. I have nobody on my calling circle at all, so I'm not seeing any savings.
I expected a lower bill. I didn't get it.
2 out of 3 MCI friends and family basic users spending $25 or more will save more with AT&T True USA Savings. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT.
People dropped out of my circle that I didn't know had dropped out because they weren't happy with what the savings were. So then I'm talking to them on the phone for a long time and spending lots of money that I didn't have to spend.
Get the savings you expect. Switch to AT&T. With True USA Savings, spend $25 a month. We'll subtract 20% off your AT&T bill. Guaranteed.
I really am looking for simplicity and savings.
AT&T is simple. You pick up the phone, you call who you want to, and you get your savings.
Call anyone, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. and save 20% with True USA Savings. Switch today. It's free.
This is a plan that would bring me back to AT&T.
Your true voice.
Mike Tirico and Tom Jackson here at Radio Shack to kick off ESPN's NFL Pro Bowl sweepstakes.
To enter, drop by any Radio Shack, vote your favorite players into the NFL Pro Bowl, and you could win a trip to see the game in Hawaii or great Radio Shack prizes.
Here comes a voter now. She cuts left. She's racing towards the ballot box.
Uh-oh.
I hope you're voting for me.
Vote for you? You couldn't sack a bag of groceries.
Whoa! ESPN's NFL Pro Bowl sweepstakes. Enter at Radio Shack.
Tommy and Phil split wide to the right. 95 blue power trap. Back to the game of the season. The Cowboys and 49ers at the stick. I forgot to play. A little history lesson here. San Francisco became the team of the 80s not only because they won 4 Super Bowls, but also because they stayed ahead of everybody else. Since the start of their glorious run in 1981, only 2 teams beat the 49ers 3 in a row. The Giants from 85 through 86, but they bounced back to the Niners to win 2 Super Bowls before New York won their next one. And the Broncos, but the 49ers get rid of that problem in a big way in Super Bowl 24, Tom. If truth be known, the 49ers could have been the team of the 90s except for one problem. Dallas.
We're talking about a team here in Dallas that jumped way ahead of everybody dramatically. I mean, I think we've got some very talented players, and we did last year. But I don't remember seeing a couple of our great teams that has as much talent as the Dallas Cowboys.
30-20, 26-17, 38-21. 3 times in the past 2 seasons, the Cowboys have won up the 49ers. It's obvious even San Francisco had to play catch-up football.
There's going to be a lot of times where I'm going to be isolated on them, and I'll have to come up and make the play. That's one of the reasons why I'm here.
Why would I be afraid of Kenny Norton?
This was the game that they really wanted Deion Sanders for.
But a funny thing happened on the way to this game. Week 2, done in by their old master. Steve Young pounded behind a depleted offensive line. The defense carted off as well. Week 5, 40-8 disaster against the Eagles. The 49ers were suddenly 3 and a bad-looking 2.
Our team was kind of floundering in who we were, what we were supposed to be. We'd heard that we were supposed to go all the way. We heard that we were supposed to be this great team. And then we got humiliated against Philadelphia.
Starting with a gut check in Detroit when they trailed 14-0, the 49ers have been that great team. 4 straight wins, 3 of them laughers. Sure, Dallas is 8-1 to their 7-2, but the Cowboys are hurting while the 49ers are healthy. The pendulum may have swung.
You read the reports out of Dallas, and they say it's a more important game for the 49ers than it is for the Dallas Cowboys. And they're probably right. You know, they've beaten us the last 3 times they've come in here, and they haven't just beaten us, they've beaten us pretty handily. They've been the better team.
The 49ers have been eyeing this game since training camp. But what happens if they don't play particularly well and they lose again to the Cowboys? Then what?
Well, really, I don't think like that. This team is going to play well. We're not concerned with, you know, the downside right now. I think we're always looking up around here, and you know, you brought the point up, but you know, that's the first I've heard of it. I mean, we feel like we're going to play a good game. A bad game is out of the question.
I feel like I'm on the best team in the NFL right now, and I don't see any reason why we shouldn't go out there and do a great job against Dallas.
Well, as you can see, the confidence level at 4949 Centennial Boulevard in a Candlestick Park today for the 49ers is very much on the up. But keep in mind, there's only one starter remaining from the title game of 2 years ago in '92, and that's quarterback Eric Davis. So lots of guys just figuring out how important San Francisco against Dallas really is. Let's join our Joe Theismann, of course, is outside Detroit getting ready for our game tonight. But, Joe, on this ball game, all those changes in the 49er defense, do you think the defense is good enough, if not to stop Dallas, good enough to neutralize?
Or maybe someone outside?
Right, I said to her on the phone, it's a joke. I just said, if I don't call back in 10 minutes, start to worry.
Okay. And were you worried?
Yes.
Were you scared?
Yes.
Did you think it might be a prowler?
Yes.
So what did you do?
Well, I got this little flashlight and I went out to check on the noise.
Now you hung up the phone how long after you heard the thumps?
About 2 to 3 minutes. Pretty fast I hung up the phone.
Pretty fast?
I'm pretty sure I did. I might have talked about the noise for a bit, but then I hung up and said I was going to go and do it and check on it. So 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, do you recall testifying before the grand jury that it was 1 to 5 minutes?
Yes. That's in the range, right?
That's in the range, yes. It could have been as little as 1 minute.
It might have been, yes.
So the time between hearing the thumps and you hanging up the phone could have been as little as 1 minute, as much as 5 minutes?
Yes.
You took the flashlight with you?
Yes, I did.
Where did you go?
To the area from my room. I went around and went to the garage area.
When you say you went to the garage area, what part of the garage area did you go to?
Well, I walked down the pathway just a bit.
And you mean the area you've indicated earlier that would be just below where it's indicating garage on that diagram? And you're pointing to it now. Is that the area where you've previously kind of drawn a line?
Yes.
How did you get to that area? What path did you take to get there?
From my room?
Yes.
There's a path that I followed to the front area.
Okay, so did you walk through the pool area?
Through the pool area.
And is there a grassy portion on the Ashford side of the house?
There's grass, right, but I stayed on the cement.
You stay on the path?
And then walked to that area.
To the garage area?
Yes.
When you came out on the path on the Ashford side of the house. Can you show us that path and mark it?
Say it again. What was that?
The path that you say you walked on.
Right.
That's on the Ashford side of the house. Could you please mark that on the diagram?
So I'm coming from my room back here. This would be the path right here. Like that.
Okay. For the record, the witness has traced a path. I would like for you to mark that path.
This path?
Yes, mark the path indicating where you said put a B. No, we already have a B. Put a K on that path. Thank you, Mr. Kalin. And the witness has marked the path with a K where he's indicated. So you walk down that path to the driveway, down the driveway, past the garage, and down the south, over to the southern corner of the garage.
I only went so far the first time. About that far.
For the record, why don't you mark where that is? Put K1. You can step down. Thank you. For the record, the witness has placed K1 on the diagram. That's where you stopped?
Yes.
When you first came out on the path, sir, did you notice anything or anyone in the driveway or at the gate?
The limousine.
Did you see anyone sitting in the car?
I couldn't tell if someone was in the car or not. It's just the car was there.
Did you stop to talk to that person or let them in the gate?
Not the first time.
Why not?
Because I figured there's a intercom phone there that the person took care of everything. He probably called the house.
Can the gate be opened from inside the house electronically?
Yes.
Now, when you went around to the Ashford side gate, when you first came out on the path, were the lights in the house on or off?
The light upstairs, I think, was on.
How about downstairs?
No, I didn't notice any lights on downstairs.
So did it appear to you that the lights downstairs were off when you first came out on that path?
I don't remember. The lights of the inside the house?
Inside the house, downstairs.
I don't remember if lights were on or off. I think it was dark.
After you got to that point on the path of the garage,